Bruce here from 4 Low Life. What'd you do with your 80 this weekend? Amazon special, windshield washer squirt nozzles. Sick of the broken ones. New antenna. Sick of the broken one. Well, broken. Something cool showed up in a box and it says enjoy on it. And last but not least, some of you guys know what these are and what's on the other side of it. But you'll have to wait till the end to see. Got any guesses? Need a hint? They're not orange. These are made by Speedmaster, 79. I just gave away the biggest secret of the internet. These are 75 bucks a pair. If you use them once and they work, they've paid for themselves. I think you can see that they're fairly aggressive. They do stack together. They're rated at something ridiculous like 2,000 pounds, 20,000 pounds, sorry. Okay, stacking together. Grips on the bottom, grips on the top, handholds in the side. That's got to work like a shovel, just like the other ones. So either I just discovered like the holy grail on the internet, or it's going to be a total failure and they're going to suck. Maybe there's a reason they're 75 bucks. Like I said, if I can use them once and they get me out and I can prove that I should have had Max Tracks, then I'll go buy some Max Tracks. But for 75 bucks, come on, really? This is one of my aftermarket replacement windshield washer squirter majiggers, and it barely even hits the wiper blade. Passenger side. The only way I can get this to get high enough up the window right now, because of how much pressure is lost through the other one, is to actually have it half popped up, not properly in the hood, and then it squirts completely in the wrong way. These just both need to go in the garbage. Hood's up, old washer nozzle's out. You ready to see the Amazon like 29-cent nozzle go in? See how well it fits? Here we go, ready? That was a hard installation, wasn't it? One difference that you will notice is this is my Amazon special, and this is, I think, the original Toyota. For all I know, it could be aftermarket as well. But the nozzle direction is out 90 degrees. It's entirely possible that this one is on Amazon or eBay. This just happened to be the one that I ordered. It's a rubber hose, it'll go around the corner. That was my figuring. The other difference that I have noticed is although the body portion does look the same, this one does not have a check valve in it, and this one does. So you are losing something for the $65 difference between what you pay for the OEM nozzles and the 35 cents that I paid. Maybe it wasn't 35 cents, but they were definitely cheap. Worst case, if it annoys me, I'll put a check valve in further down the line. But again, here's how simple this installation is. If you're living with nozzles that you can't adjust. Ready? 3, 2, 1, done. So I realize now I probably should have taken a before shot, but trust me, the difference is night and day. From what I've seen so far, well worth the $2 I believe I spent on those. I bought a pack of 9, and I think with shipping I paid $13 Canadian. So that's about $1.50 US right now. Just buy them. I'll even give the secret away of the part number that I bought. I've got 9 spares. If you need a set and you don't want to spend $1.50, get me to 25 subscribers, and if you're number 25, I'll send you a pair for free. How's that? I think it's time for a new antenna. not that hard, not that easy on the inside, but this part here, simple. Well, that does it for the 80, but don't worry, there's more. I've got to work on the 70 now. Last weekend, I found a couple of drawer sliders on sale at Princess Auto. They're only 11 inches long, but I bought a pair of pairs, and I've riveted them together to give me about a 22-inch slide. My idea is I'm going to mount those on the slide platform that I have in order to get the stove to slide out beyond that. Now that's one great thing, is having the stove out away from everything else, but what I have a feeling is it's going to put the stove pretty far back and you're going to have to be standing behind it. So I also picked up a swivel, a rotator. So my plan here is to have the stove slide out and then rotate 90 degrees so that you're kind of in a kitchen area instead of standing outside of a kitchen area. Now, of course, if I was to just put a flat plate coming out like this with the weight of the stove overhanging the mounting point, it'd be pretty weak and it'd probably flop and bounce around. I don't really want that. So I made a little template test piece, and that is the shape that I'm going to bend the steel in order to give it some strength. So this is going to sit here, get attached to these plates, and it's going to run out about 8 inches to here, and that will contain the rotator. The stove will sit on top of here and be able to rotate. Now, normally, I'd be all about using the plasma cutter, but I have this cool old stomp shear, and this is pretty thin steel. I want to make a nice square part, which is easy to do on this, so I'm going to go ahead and use a stomp shear. Not sure if you've ever seen one of these being used, but has a blade across the back like a big paper cutter, and it's got a big pedal that you stomp on the floor. Probably take me a couple stomps to get through that piece. It's not perfectly adjusted, it's not perfectly sharp, but it works, and it's old and it's cool. Alright, let's see. One stomp, not bad. Nice straight edge. Hope that's the size I need. The next part's a bit of a trick. I have to actually do a part bend and then move it out and do a part bend because it's going to get trapped in behind the frame of the bender. And of course, it's the same thing for the other side. Time for the back bend on the edge. Mounting holes for the rotator have been drilled, and the mounting holes for the whole platform to the sliders have been drilled. I'm going to pop this apart now, give it a quick shot of paint, and then put it back together. Got the main plate painted, got all the holes drilled in it. I'm going to mount this to the sliders now with some rivets, and then I'll attach the rotator to this and then the stove to the rotator. I've used screws to attach the stove to the rotator so that I can actually do it with it all in place, and I can remove the stove. Whoops. That's just not going to work. Well, it's all together now. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it does work. It's going to need a couple little tweaks. I need to put a locking pin to stop it from rotating when I don't want it to rotate, but overall, it'll work. Action. Stage 1 slide. This is the drawer, the platform. Slide. The stove. Rotation, so that you can get the stove facing where the kitchen is, the rest of the kitchen area. One last thing to do for the weekend. Remember this? Overland bound 4045. Going on the fridge. If you enjoyed that, leave a comment down below, click subscribe, give me a thumbs up. If you want to support videos like this, you can support me on Patreon, you can follow me on Instagram, patreon.com/ATIOIYIOI, and the same for Instagram, at ATIOIYIOI. See you next time. That I found. There it goes.